Now, a show that I will give, that I said I'd give an A to, maybe almost an A+, was this.
This one, Battleground, we will give the star ratings on, or not the star, whatever numbers we decide to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still star ratings
if,
at this point, but yeah.
If you want to go back and look at how we rate these, go back in our archives and look for Jim Cornette's picture, and you can read how we actually do the ratings, so you don't get confused as to how we do them.
Yeah, we do them how they should be done, not what they've devolved into. I won't even say evolved into, what they've devolved into for sure. Because because this was a PLE. Yeah, that's kind of what we said. We'll not get. We'll do those for the big shows and the important ones, and we both chose Battleground where we gave double or nothing. We chose nothing and went with Battleground. So that's.
I think you got it labeled Jim Cornette ratings in our archive.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I think so.
Go back and watch that, and you'll see what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's in a full episode, and then
it's a bonus.
Yeah,
it's a bonus.
Oh, you're right. No, there's the clip of it. Yeah, it's the one that's got the big picture of Jim Cornette on it, because we did that right after Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. So
want
to know why we're giving ratings that don't seem very high.
Because 4 is supposed to be basically as high as you can get. If somebody gets a 5, it's because you were literally blown away.
Oh,
as opposed to
spoiling it. Have them go back and listen to it. Don't spoil
it. Don't give away anything for free. It's a good point. That is a good point. All right. So what did this one start off with? Did it start off with this? Sol Ruca and Kalani Jordan.
Yeah.
Which, man, so you can, because I know you haven't watched as much of NXT, which I thought was great. I mean, you're like the prime example of why they do the video package. People complain and
I was happy about that, by the way.
Yeah, no, they're great. And honestly, sometimes even as somebody who watches the shows week to week, you see like, oh yeah, that did happen. Or like, even if you watch the shows every single week, maybe you don't see every backstage segment or every little thing. I'm sorry, Jake. I don't watch any of the shows. So right.
I knew everything that was going on before every match, and I was right on time. I'm perfectly timed. I knew exactly what was going on. It was awesome.
Yeah, you knew what was going on, why, who you gave you who to root for. Yeah, no, it's done perfect. And then it's great for the talent too, because then it is a smooth transition to the main show. Like they know every little thing matters. They're gonna put that out there for it. I thought this match was a lot of fun. I was exactly what I expected it to be. Kalani Jordan is one of those people that I talked about it before with Lash Legend, where when she initially started, you could see there was athleticism and possible talent there, but it was really rough around the edges. But week to week, month to month, you can see the work being put in, and she did great for it. I knew that Sol was going to keep the title just because it seems like this is going to set up.
Now, Zaria's heel turn. One more time, sorry.
You're good. Interrupt me as much as you want.
Johnny comes from a gymnastic background, and so does Sol, right?
I believe so. Kalani might have some track and field background to her as well.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. Because you can tell, we've mentioned it just many times, you can tell the people that come from a sports team background.
Yes.
Because they pick up stuff and they learn as a team as opposed to an individual. There's a big difference. When you're on a team, you have a different mentality. And you can tell these people are from that background. I can tell, having coached and played hockey for years. I can tell.
Yeah, and they're more in turn to work with the person that they're literally working with, as opposed to just trying to be about themselves and only that doesn't work for me, brother, and getting their shit in.
It's totally noticeable, Jake. It really is.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where the PC really shines with these people, that if they want to be learned and trained and coached, they can be and will be. Like I've said before about people that have come from AEW over the people that wanted to be coached. Lexus King is my prime example. He was pretty terrible in AEW, and honestly, when he started in NXT, it was pretty rough. But you can see the work that gets put in. I mean, even Joe Hendry talks about how he's working, how he does a lot of work at the PC, basically does 2 to 3 days or 4 days or more time there every single week. And he's gotten better with it. It just teaches not so much how to do the moves, it's the timing. It's as people talk about wrestling all the time, it's the stuff in between the moves that matters. It's the pausing, it's the timing.
Also, as a former player, just being around the guys and the girls.
Yes,
just being
that camaraderie. Yeah,
it's totally. It's something, folks. It really is.
Yeah, no, you could see that a lot with the NXT people, even when they come up and go off and do their own things on the main roster. Like, there's still ties to where because they kind of grew up as a team together. I mean, that's why they always had up until recently with Rhea and Damian, like the Terror Twins or whatever, because they became the best of friends and super close in that time. I mean, it's almost like, it's in the trenches with those guys. You really get to become family with it. So yeah. I thought this match was good. I would say probably, 2.25, 2.5 on it. Nothing mind blowing, but it was great. I thought the crowd was really into it. And man, Sol Ruka's finisher is top notch.
Yeah,
like there's no way that doesn't. Yeah, it really is. And it's one of those things where I feel like it's like Billy Kidman. Well, like Billy Kidman in WCW, where like you always expected that. You're like, how does he? And he hit it every single time. Once he got in WWE, it didn't kind of do as well. But knock on wood. But I mean, she hits it every single time, smooth, and it was clean. The only complaint I would think maybe I would have, if there is nitpicking. There were a couple times, and because they're younger and still learning, where you could see it was like clear cooperation, but that doesn't bother me as much in the younger talent because they're learning. I would rather you have that and nobody get hurt than dropping somebody on their head.
I thought for an opener, very good opener to a show.
Yes.
Crowd.
Yeah, and I thought the crowd really,
like you said, crowd got into it. Made me get into it a little more, which was cool. I gave it a 2.5.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's where I'm a solid 2.5 with it for sure. And like you said, it was a great way to open the crowd and get them hot. Which led into the 6-man tag. Was it the Culling? The Culling versus Hank and Tank and Briggs. Yeah, there's a certain storylines I'm not as into in NXT. Like Hank and Tank are fun, but I feel like they're just like heavy machinery 2.0. I like what Spears does with the Culling. Not quite sure about everybody. Whether I do think I forget her name. Izzy Dane. I think she's good. I think she's very talented. Not quite sure about the other guys in it, but that's what Sean Spears is there to do, is help kind of coach. He's a player coach. So that's kind of his job.
Yeah, this is the match where I feel that they put one in that you really don't know what's going on, and you're a little bit maybe not as talented as the rest of the people on the card. They put them in here so they get a feel for everything, and they're learning as they go, like you said. Yeah, I gave this a 2.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was saying. It was a solid 2. I thought, and honestly, I feel like the match was almost mostly for to have was it Inamura, his Briggs' tag team partner from Noah, because Briggs went over and did, I think it was 6 or 8 weeks in Japan with Noah and brought Inamura back as his tag team partner, and they really did some cool stuff. And I thought and I think they kind of even played into it storyline wise, because it seemed like WWE was going to go into a partnership with Noah, and then that kind of it fell through. They made it seem like that's why Inamura left, so having him come back was kind of a surprise.
See, that's what a Japanese wrestler looks like when he's in shape.
Yes, yeah, he is very talented. He's a very talented wrestler. I've only seen him in the few matches that he's done in NXT, but he's pretty talented for sure. Now, what was the grudge match, which was the fun one, was Tony D'Angelo versus Stax Lorenzo. Which this one has a lot of story with it, which I thought they covered pretty well in the video package. Because actually, when I first started watching NXT, was like right when the family started kind of coming into their own, and it's a little goofy, it's a little silly, it's a little over the top, but I enjoy it. It's fun, and there's something about Tony D'Angelo that just works for me. I just think that guy, he's great.
He's a lot bigger than you think he actually
is.
Yeah.
He really is. When he had those matches with Obafemi, and it was like, oh, he's gonna get squashed, and you see him in there, you're like, no, he's a big. I mean, he's a football player. He's a big dude.
You always see him in his, like he's always in the background with his, in the scene with his suit on and stuff. And when you see his arms, he's no slouch. He looks good.
Yeah. No, or they'll do the scenes where it's like at the dinner table, or he's like at the they're having one of the meetings in the back room, and he's always sitting and like not in the best light, which actually kind of works for him because then he takes that shirt off and comes down. And you're like, fuck, this guy's a house. No,
yeah, I'm very
fun.
surprised in the year 2025 we have a mafia family story going on in wrestling.
Yeah,
it's great. It's hilarious to me.
It is, and it works for NXT. Like, and I really think that's why it's going the way it is, where they're breaking them up slowly to end it, is because Tony will probably go up to the main roster and they'll have to change his gimmick a bit. Like they'll always kind of refer to it or whatever, but he'll probably change it. At least, he won't be a mob boss on the main roster.
Who was the dude that came in at the end there with the suit on?
At the end
of this match, he came in with the suit, went to hug Tony, and Tony said no.
Oh, is it the other guy? I forget. What is it?
I don't know his name. Either way, the last member of the family got shunned away, so I'm guessing that's the end of the family.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Maybe Tony and Rizzo will say I forget the other guy's name off the top of my head. They're Italian names. Yeah. No, but I really do. It's one of those things that it's been a good storyline for the family, but it's one of those things where it's got a Crucifino. Thank you. That's his last name. It's Crucifino. I could not think of that. I knew it started with the C. But this match was a solid 2.5 for me. It was fun. And it furthered the storyline where it needed to go. And I would think that Tony will. I don't think he's long for NXT. In my opinion, he's probably going up relatively soon, which is why I think they did the releases the way they did and kind of clear up some space because they got to move some people around.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I actually enjoyed the match. The actual match itself was much better than I thought it was going to be. And these two guys work well together in the ring. I gave it a 2 3/4.
Nice. Yeah, no, I
pleasantly surprised, by the way.
I was gonna say I think that's what it was. Like this, like I expected it to be good, and I got what I expected. But that's always nice, especially if you're not sure about it, and then all of a sudden you're into it. Shit, I'm getting into this one. This is fun. No, I thought it was good. What for me,
Stacks is gonna be a good dude down the line.
Oh, for sure. No, and I think that's what that group was that did well with was that unlike Chase U, everybody has evolved in that family and gotten better with it, whatever they're doing. And so, it's probably a smart time to end it where it is before it wears out its welcome. Or maybe Tony goes up and Stacks does his own thing and runs his own family or whatever as a storyline. They could definitely make that work. But it seems to me like it's Tony's time to get up on the main roster. And I would think there'll be a little bit more play out this week, but he could come up pretty soon. Unless they get him involved in the Worlds Collide, but we'll say.
I was very enjoyed. I enjoyed it a lot.
No, for sure. And then the next match, which was great, was the women's title match, which was awesome. Obviously, I mean, Stephanie Vaquer is incredible at this. Like, she's incredible. I've yet to see her have not even like a so-so, like not even bad match, but not even like a mid match. Like every single match that she's had has been great. Whether there's botches or any miss-up, she just picks it right up, sits right through it. I thought this match was great. I don't think it was anything over the top or special, but I had it as another. I put this one as 2.5 as well.
Yeah, Stephanie Vaquer is interesting to me because, like, size-wise, she's not very big. However, with a bigger opponent such as
Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan. I was trying to tip my tongue. I forgot it. Jordan's like physically better than Stephanie.
Right, yeah, Jordan's a house.
But Stephanie held her own very nicely, and I'm surprised at that because I expected like it not to be as smooth as it was. I went 2.5 on 2.5. I went on this one too. It's very enjoyable.
I think the thing with Stephanie too is she's not that tall, but she does have size to her. Like she's not like wafer thin. Like she's got her legs are pretty thick, and she does enough lucha moves to be like a luchadora, but she's also got some pretty strong, powerful moves with her as well. She's been probably the biggest surprise of anything this year for me. Because I mean, we all saw the one match she had with Monet, or at least clips of it in AEW and seeing highlights, but she's really taken to this well. And then when you see her in interviews and stuff that she chose to go to NXT to make sure that she was, polished and ready before she goes and gets rushed up. That's a smart move. Like, I really respect people who make decisions like that.
Yeah, the only thing I would have paid $50 for last night was to be inside the Devil's Kiss. That's it.
Yeah, you Booker T, and apparently most of the audience, they were pretty loud about that. That was fun. I'm not sure when he came out because I'm going through I have like a recap in front of me, and they do have the recap of Ricky Saints, which we'll get to, but I want to at least bring up initially this where Mike Santana showed up on TV in NXT. That surprised me. I did not expect him to show up where they went back to her for the interview. You probably could have had me guess 50 people, maybe 100 that she was interviewing. Not sure if Mike would have been on my list, but
he just popped in and so he was taking on the winner of the main event.
Yeah, I think I do believe he did get the I wasn't fully caught up on TNA with my internet being out for a while, but I'm pretty sure he's the number one contender for the TNA title because they have a pay-per-view. I think June 6th, actually. I think it's here. Well, it's in Tempe. I think it's in Arizona, though. But I thought that was really cool to see. You could see how much it meant to him to be on WWE television. And then they announced that he's got a match with Tavion Heights tomorrow on Tuesday. So it'll be cool to see Mike Santana in a WWE ring. I mean, he's got, I think he said 16, 17 years of this, and this is the first time he's stepped foot in WWE anything. And like we've said it plenty of times. I don't care who you are. The guys can say that WWE isn't their goal. If it's not, you're in the wrong business. It's like Dusty Rhodes told DDP, man, if you're not trying to get the title, baby, what the fuck you doing in this business? Like, you got to be. So I thought that was cool. And then they've got
Santana's one of those guys that has definitely paid his dues.
Yes. And then back to what I was saying about Stephanie Vaquer. He made the smart decision to leave AEW because obviously he, like anybody, Tony will make them an offer to stay because he wants everybody to stay basically and pay the money. But he knew that he could collect a paycheck and stay home, but he didn't want to do that. He wanted to work. He wanted to further his career. He wanted to, as we hear all the time, he bet on himself, and clearly that's paying off. And obviously, I would say this is his chance to shine if he does well in these programs that are connected with NXT and WWE. I mean, similar to Joe Hendry, he could have an offer on the table when his TNA contract runs out. So good for him. I love it. And that, for me, that was awesome to see.
It was a bonus to the night.
Yeah, it really was.
Unexpected bonus.
Yeah. And then the less unexpected, but was cool to see was they did the Ricky Saints in the ring interview when he was attacked by Ethan Page to set up their match that they're having this Tuesday on NXT. So that was cool. I still think it's funny to see.
Yeah. See what I mean by pacing the show, though?
Yes.
Like it
to give people time to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just match after match after match after match.
Everything was going so nice. Like, you got time to go to the bathroom, you can come back and not see it. It was perfect.
And even the matches themselves were paced well. Like when they ended, you were like, "Yep, that's the finish." Yeah, like, oh, that's smart. There was a little bit of stuff in the main event, which we'll get to, but as we'll get to, like, there had to be. That was, like, that's part of the deal. But yeah, I thought it was good. I still will laugh every time when I see Ricky Saints and Ethan Page feuding in NXT, and you just think, like, how did Tony chose to push Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia?
Yep. Good for him.
Yeah, no, really. I'm happy for both of them.
So was Oba next? Oba was next.
Yes.
Right?
I was just about to say, and then we get to my favorite match of the night, because as anybody who's listened to me or seen my Twitter knows, Miles Bourne is my guy. I love this kid. I think he's talented, he's charismatic, and he's funny as hell. For me, it was that line, no, I know I look like Randy Orton, but we're totally different. He hears voices in his head, and I can't hear shit.
He's the one that's with Steph DeLander, right?
No, Stephanie Vaquer. Yeah. No, Steph DeLander's with Vance Warder. Yeah, they apparently just went public on like social media, but they've clearly been dating for a while because the pictures were with family on Easter. Like, you're not bringing, you know what I mean? Yeah. If they were just like kind of fooling around or whatever, you're not bringing family. You're not bringing that person to your family on Easter Sunday. And those were where the pictures were released. And people immediately like latched onto it that they were dating. And what I said was, I mean, they're photographed together. Looks like they're dating. I don't look into it or really care about people's personal lives. But Oba confirmed that actually there was an interview that they did.
Yeah, I saw Tampa.
They were promoting it. But I mean, there were a lot. And hey, if I didn't like Miles Bourne before, I mean, love the kid now. Kid's good for him. I mean,
here's what I learned from this match. I learned that Oba Femi has picked up the game so much that he's learned how to get his opponent over during the match.
Right,
it was amazing to watch.
Yeah,
I'm like, well,
over. Yeah,
Oba's a big dude, and that's hard to do with a big guy like that. And when he actually sold moves, had good facials, good facial expressions, sold for Miles enough to where I can believe it, and that worked out good.
Yeah, no, it's really, really cool to see how good he is. I mean, because it's what we've talked about it before. Every match is going to have somebody that goes over, but if you can get both guys over during it, or somebody goes over, somebody gets over, but both of them got over with it. But for the fact of, I mean, that was Miles Bourne coming out party. I mean, it's the cheap line is "A Star Is Born." It's kind of, I saw a lot of tweets with that, but that's exactly what this match should have been. We were talking about it in the chat yesterday during it when people were making their predictions, and it's like Oba's clearly winning, but Miles is going to make a great showing for himself. Like, Miles is going to prove himself in that, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, now he's got to follow it up on his own, though.
100%, which I think he will, because he's been great, and they're clearly slowly breaking up the NQCC, and I think that'll end up leading to him and Dempsey having a feud, which will be great. Oba Femi is another one of those people that's comes from the sports background. He was I forget, was it track and field at I think it was Alabama. Oh yeah, just put up Wikipedia. Yep, he was completed the track and field championships for the University of Alabama. So like, the guy knows how to be coached, how to be trained. He's one of those ones where everyone's calling for him to come up and go up to the main roster right now. And while that would be great and cool to see, he's only had like 25 or 28, 30 matches. Like, there's no rush. Let him kind of go. Yeah, exactly. And he's young too. Like, it's not maybe he's big, but he's only 27, and he just turned 27 last month. But he's got time.
Right now, he's a heel.
Yeah.
So what you want to do with somebody in NXT is get them used to being a heel, seasoned.
Yeah.
Turn them babyface, get them used to that, seasoned, then move them up.
Yep. And then sometimes they'll even turn him again. Because first of all, I will personally give this match. This match is a good 3 stars for. I don't even go 3 1/4. Like this, I went 2 3/4 on this one.
Yeah,
no, I'll go 3 1/4 on this. I loved it, but because it was what it should have been, and it was just cool to see. And it's both guys. It's like, the future is good. The future is solid. They're set up well. But to lead into like the main event with Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry, Trick Williams is kind of that perfect fit of what you just talked about, except for when he first came in, he was a sidekick as a heel to Mello. And then he turned with Mello, and that turned him into a babyface. And he ran as like the biggest babyface of the promotion up until recently, where he has turned heel. Like, he's kind of a tweener, but I mean, the stuff with Javon Evans and then how he's treated Joe Hendry and the stuff he said, he's working heel right now. And that's what they're doing. They're making, now he's not just being a sidekick heel, he's being a heel as himself and giving him more seasoning, because I would think once this feud ends, however it ends with him with the TNA thing, he's main roster bound. I think he's the one that goes. People are still saying that Oba should go up, but no. I think Oba needs another 6. Not needs, but would benefit from.
It's got to go through the same thing that they're doing the Trick. It's got to do the same pattern. It works,
and that's what worked for Braun Breaker too. I can remember for at least 6 months. I feel like almost a year. everyone kept saying, Breaker's got to go up now. Breaker's got to go up now. And they had him do that stuff with Corbin. They had him do full-on babyface stuff. They had him do different heel stuff. Like, when he came up, it wasn't like we had to get him ready. Braun was like, plug and play. Here we go. And look what it's done for him. And it's there's a reason they have that, but they have the blueprint in place. And
yeah, Trick's definitely going to go up after, because now he's got a lot. They need people. They need people up there. They need men stars, because NXT women are just unbelievably great.
Right. Yeah.
They need some men to step up, and they're getting. I'm happy with Trick. I love the progress, and they're going to do the same thing with Oba. And there you go.
Exactly. 100%. And I think that it worked out well. For that match, though, it was a great match. I thought Hendry looked great. I thought Hendry looked serious when he came out. I know people talking about boo-boo face or whatever. I don't think he had any of that. I thought he looked serious and ready to take on the fight. I didn't think there was a chance he was losing, and I was dead ass wrong. And I'm happy with that. I got no problem being wrong. Hey, I got Bronson Reed right. I got one right all weekend. I will take that W. That's good for me.
They're setting up so much stuff behind, so much stuff going on. Because when Santana said he wants to win her this match, you thought it was going to be Joe Hendry. And so did I.
Absolutely.
And now it's Trick Williams. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
And I mean, I know they're on a shitty channel with Access TV, but I feel like as many people wrestling, there's going to be a lot of eyes on TNA this week. Maybe not live on TV, but whatever they post on X, I feel like will maybe not go full viral, but a lot of people are going to be paying attention. I am definitely going to be watching TNA this week to see what happens.
I'm getting to think that people that have been saying that TNA is going to be moving to a different network, I think that's going to happen.
I agree. I've heard people say that. And then for some reason, and I don't think it's for some reason, I think people that can't get out of the mind of WWE bad and how they used to be think that this is WWE showing they're going to take over TNA, which makes no sense. Why would they do that? Like, it's a good partnership. They're doing it. Yeah. And we talked about it plenty of times where we talked about how it's great for the TNA talent to go, or the NXT talent to go work in TNA, work in a different arena, working with a different audience, work with different people, different coaches, different agents. It's just more experience, the better. I'm
wondering, Jake, if NXT working with TNA like they are, and they're having a good relationship with NXT being on the CW, do you think a Thursday night show on the CW is possible?
I mean, I would think that the CW would be all for that, simply because of how well.
I just thought of that, by the way.
No, it's a great call, because NXT has done way better than they've expected it to, and they have to know that the next time NXT's renewal is up, even if they can keep them, it's gonna be like double, triple the cost. Like, WWE purposely gave them a sweetheart of a deal for the CW, because it was more about, we want to be on network TV. We want the exposure we're going to get here, and we're going to over deliver so that the next time it'll look great for us. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if they did that. At least, I mean, obviously just in the United States, because they actually are on a pretty big sports network in Canada. But I think that would be great. I think it would be great for them.
That's all speculation, by the way, people.
Oh, for sure.
I just threw that out there.
But it does seem like that's what TNA's goal is with a lot of this, is get as much exposure as they can, get their talent out there, make their shows exciting. Like, I mean, Joe putting the title on Hendry like they did was smart as it were. And even now, like, he's still going to be massively over. He's going to somehow, even if he's not the first person to wrestle Trick for the belt, like, he will at least get a rematch. Or if Santana beats Trick, let's say, then it sets up Hendry and Santana or whatever. It'll be interesting.
Hendry's like the TNA version of LA Knight. Anything can happen to him. It don't matter. He's always going to be over. It's fine.
Yeah. Speaking of LA Knight, did you see on Friday where Nick Aldis was talking about something on the screen, and then behind him there was like a mural that had been drawn, and it was LA Knight attacking John Cena with holding the belt. I don't know if that was foreshadowing from what might happen this summer, but especially if he's in the Money in the Bank, it you know, if he makes it into it, I feel like they're going to do one of those like last chance matches for it. But just thought that was interesting.
So little time, so many possible matches.
That's that, and if that's what I whenever I praise Triple H, I always say the best thing that he does is he likes to have seeds planted everywhere, so that if you need to have this storyline, you've got it there, or maybe we can put these guys in the back burner, but then they can reconnect here. Like even with Trick and Joe Hendry. When Joe first made his run in NXT before he won the title, like 3-6 months ago or whatever, like he was teaming with Trick. Like Trick was all of it. Like Trick kept putting Joe Hendry over. He's like, well, I'm just going to say his name so he can appear and have him show up. And they had like a couple of social media videos. They were doing the turn and everything. And then now Trick Williams is posting him doing the turn with the TNA belt saying, let's talk about it. Like,
this was my favorite. This was my favorite picture of the weekend, actually.
Yes, right. Like it really is awesome. Like, and talk about like physical charisma, like that right there. It's just like, yeah, that's a charismatic son of a bitch right there, ain't it? Like just, yeah. No, he's awesome. He's a lot of fun to watch, and you know, for me, that match was a solid. I'd probably say 2.75 just because the ending surprised me. I would have gone 2.5, but 2.75. I very much enjoyed it. The show as a whole, I thought was great. I really
my highest rating of the night was a 3 on this one.
All right, yeah, that was me for I went a little over with Miles and Oba, but talk about pacing the show well. Like this show kept building. You know, like it started off hot, and then it kind of had the little bit of not so much a lull, but the tag match, and then Tony and Stacks was a good grudge match and a good fight. The women's match was great and got the crowd hot. Obafemi and Miles over delivered, and then Trick Williams and Joe Hendry just had a charismatic, you know, who could be the most charismatic. Plus, it's not like Trick really won clean. Like he poked Hendry in the eye. He hit the move where he dropped Hendry onto the belt. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of meat on those bones. And this week should be very exciting, starting with Raw tonight and then NXT on Tuesday. I mean, Dynamite will happen on Wednesday, but whatever. And then TNA on Thursday and SmackDown on Friday. So yeah, pretty damn exciting. I feel overall the weekend was fun.
Yeah. And we know Double or Nothing happened yesterday, but we're not going to review that.
I mean, yeah,
I can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I saw a few clips. Nothing enticed me. And like I live 30 to 40 minutes away from the arena that was held at. They keep saying Phoenix. It's Glendale. It's Glendale, Arizona. But there was nothing that enticed me to go. I have 2 friends that live much closer to that arena. They both randomly were able to obtain tickets the day of the show without much problem. I don't know what they paid or if they paid, but yeah, I mean, they had fun, but I know one of them left early, which we saw a lot of people leaving early.
A lot of people left early. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened. I mean, and if you want us to review it, pay me $50 and I'll review it.
Yeah. Right. Or get us another 50 subscribers. We'll go in and review it right away. You know, yeah, we got no problem. We are happy to appease if the crowd wants it. Please leave a comment, leave a dislike. I mean, hey, any interaction is fine. We enjoy it all. But no, I think for overall, it was a really fun weekend of wrestling. It set its weekend up here. And then with this weekend coming up, it's kind of a nice break because then the next weekend is the AAA NXT Worlds Collide in the afternoon, followed by Money in the Bank that evening. That's
be fun.
Coming back to back.
It'll be fun, but all in all, keep tuned to the station for updates and new interviews and Sunday Spaces.